Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dark Rooms podcast. My name is Ozone, and as per usual, we are being joined by Inkyink, Psychic, and Underscore. But today, we are also being joined by a huge inspiration of all of us, and probably many of you listening too. So, a big welcome to CG5.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my podcast.
It's your podcast.
Yeah,
now.
it's his
you're owning
podcast.
the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is Ozone 5.
Ozone 5.
It's the fifth one. What happened to 2 through 4? Who knows?
Nobody.
They died to the ozone.
Ah, I see.
So
Quote,
not only is CG5 the new owner of the podcast, it will now no longer be on my channel. It's on Ozone or Ozone 5's channel. So make sure to subscribe to that.
You know, I might just
That
make a
channel
new
exists.
channel called Ozone 5, just because why not?
Out of spite.
Anyway, thank
claim
you
them.
so much for taking the time to come and talk to us. I believe we have a lot of questions to ask, if you don't mind.
I do mind. I'm actually going now. I'm going to leave.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for
Hey,
joining
guys.
us, everybody.
Thank you
Big
for
round
your
of
time.
applause.
Thank you for your time.
Big round of applause for joining us. Time to clickbait that.
All right, where do we want to start, guys?
Well, somebody asks a question. That's how you kick this off.
What's
good
your
start.
favorite song that you've made?
Oh, this is going to be a great podcast. My favorite song I've made. My favorite song that I've made is "I See a Dreamer" at this point because it has been very contemplative. I think that the other songs that I made have always been contemplative. Like I've always had to do research and stuff like that, obviously. But I wanted to really make sure, especially with a song about dream, that it was going to pop off for the right reason. It was going to get the views for the right reason or get consistent viewership. And the only way that was going to happen was I was going to make it the best that I could. And so that was my plan. And then I fulfilled that plan. I remember the first time I listened to I See a Dreamer, I was actually bawling my eyes out when it was finished. So yeah, passion is heavily connected to my work. And I think I See a Dreamer is probably my favorite.
It's a good song.
It's a pretty good song, in all
Yeah.
honesty, yeah.
Thank you very much.
And it's got, I think it's got you some connections, right? Because you shared it a bunch with like the members of the Dream Team and the surrounding sort of YouTubers like that, right?
Yeah, so basically Ant Frost, Sapnap, and George Not Found, and Dream even, they were all able to give it a listen, and they liked it. Carl, all the Dream SMP people. And Bad Boy Halo and Tubbo were the ones that were specifically interested in actually working with me after having heard that song. And for Tubbo, actually, it was Gone Away. He had heard that song before he decided to reach out to me very randomly. I was like, oh, great. Okay, let's work together, I guess. So, it just happened. These things, they just happen.
Nice.
Happened.
Yeah.
It's like, this is happening.
Yeah.
Yep, this is happening. It's fine.
Something about you is you're very, very quick to hop onto trends. Like today, of course, the Cuphead show premiered, and you've come out with another song, a banger. But like, if you don't feel like what you're making is good, then do you just completely scrap it, or like what's the whole process of like making sure that it is as best as it can be?
When you talk about the scrap it thing, I have definitely scrapped projects or attempts at a certain song that I was going to make. Like when I made my song Vibrant Eyes, I had made it my plan. Okay, I'm going to write a song about Rambu's character on the Dream SMP, and I had made a whole song, and decided to scrap it entirely and start over. Mostly finished, and I did not like it. Like everybody, I remember I was streaming it on Twitch, the creation process of this first project, and everybody was liking it. Everybody was freaking out in the chat, like, "Oh my gosh, this is so awesome!" And by the time I kept listening to it, I kept working on it on stream, I reached a point where I felt like this wasn't the one. and so I decided to scrap that project entirely and start over. So I've started over before because I need the song to be great. There was also when Lion to Me, my second song about Among Us came out.
Yeah.
I actually had a project on standby that had nothing to do with anything. I basically was just making this old classic beat, and it was mostly finished. And so I opened this project. I found it amongst my many work in progress projects. Found this beat, and I was like, okay, maybe I should flesh that one out. And so I've had instances where I've just either scrapped the project or used something old. I actually, with Muffin too, that was definitely different too, because I had basically a full structure ready with this song that I didn't know what to do with, like a 30-second song basically, and I used it for Bad Boy Halo's Muffin, and then that's what happened. So, all the processes with different songs are constantly changing. It's always different. There's never any solid thing that I do. It just happens.
I can understand that. Yeah. Now we've talked about some of your more relatively recent stuff, but I guess I'm thinking we should maybe jump back a bit. How long have you been making music, and what really inspired you?
I've been making music since I was 5 years old on the computer.
5.
When
Wow.
I was 3 years old, actually, no. When I was basically a child, I came out of the womb listening to 80s music and 90s music. And that's all I've ever known, basically. I have, like, all 80s music burned into my brain at this point. And that helps me write a lot, for sure. A lot of 80s artists inspire me, such as ELO, Phil Collins, Howard Jones, Billy Joel, Michael Jackson,
Classics.
Fleetwood Mac, all those people. Very, very important inspirations to me musically. And yeah, I've been making music since I was 5 on the computer, because my dad had a very simple DAW digital audio workstation called Hip Hop EJ4. This company EJ, they came out with different softwares that were specific to different genres, such as hip hop, techno, dance, all those things. They had these specific genres set for these different programs, and so I had Hip Hop 4, and they had all these different sounds that I could play with, beats that were pre-made, samples, all that kind of stuff. I just went crazy with those, and I basically had personal jam sessions where I made random songs when I was 5 years old, and just grew my knowledge up till now. And so I've been working with music for 17 years.
Nice.
Wow.
That's quite a while.
Very long time.
So you've really been like immersed in it really all your life.
Yes, music is my life, literally. Music and family and my gospel, but like, yeah, that's everything for me.
Wow.
So you've been into song making for quite a while, but when exactly did FNaF get into that? Like, when did you get into FNaF exactly?
So my first big break in comparison to when I was making, so I started my CG5 channel when I was 16 on the basis of making Pokemon video game remixes, all different kinds of video games, TV shows, just remixing different songs that already existed. Heathens by 21 Pilots, I remember I did a remix of that. Ride by Katy Perry or whatever like that. I just did a bunch of remixes. And that was the basis of that channel. I didn't want to sing on it at all. I was actually scared to sing on that channel. I remember I was talking to a friend. I was like, I don't know if I should ever sing on this channel. I would never fit. The people on the channel, the 3,000 subscribers that I've grown are going to hate it, and they're going to stop watching my videos and everything. I was thinking about all these things that just I thought that it was not going to fit, and so I didn't do it for a little bit. And so I decided at one point that I would make a song about Bendy and the Ink Machine,
Yes.
which was a big break for me in comparison to anything that I've ever had ever released up until that point. I remember after 3 days, that video had 30,000 views, which was it was random too. It just grew out of nowhere, and started getting a bunch of views on it. And so I learned more about that fan base and what they liked and what they appreciated. And I looked at FNaF. I looked at Five Nights at Freddy's and looked at how that was definitely way more popular than Bendy and always will be. But during that time, that was the hot ticket, and that was during the time that FNaF 6 was going to be releasing. And so I released my remix cover of "I Got No Time" by the Living Tombstone, and that is now my second biggest video on my channel. By first being "Show Yourself" from the Among Us song, but that was my huge spike on my channel. That was one of my biggest spikes on my channel, next to the Among Us stuff, the Dream stuff of in 2020. That was a different time, but Five Nights at Freddy's was the basis. Five Nights at Freddy's and Bendy was the basis of the first bit of growth that I had. The first, basically the first millions of subscribers, to be honest. Because I mean, I released a FNaF song almost 2 months ago now, and that still did well because that community is still there on my channel, and they are getting exactly what they want, and that's Five Nights at Freddy's. So, I've learned a lot about my community.
So before you found the Bendy community and then found the FNaF community, had you not known anything about FNaF at all, or was that just a opening into putting music into that and you'd heard about it, if that makes sense?
I had known a bit about it, a little bit. I remember 2013 when it was first blowing up, when it was an app, that I was definitely around during that time. And I remember the Living Tombstone releasing his Five Nights at Freddy's song, and that being the biggest Five Nights at Freddy's song in the world now. That was my first exposure to Five Nights at Freddy's, but I never really looked into it. My break I wanted to have was I wanted to become this producer. I had a bunch of different dreams. I wanted to become a singer, songwriter, and music producer, and do all those different things. And I had different. I kept coming with different plans and stuff like that, And so that became a new plan during that period where Bendy took off. And I was like, okay, I should take advantage of this a little more. I should figure this out. I should figure out what works here. And so that's when I got even more into Five Nights at Freddy's than I had ever gotten into it ever in my life. Was during that time where I started writing songs about it, but like Crawling and No More Cake, Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
That's such a classic.
And then eventually Superstar. It all came to a certain point. But I've known about FNaF since the beginning, but I got into it circa 2017.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. I remember when Labyrinth first came out, and I was like, this is one of the best FNaF songs ever, because it was I love songs that have multiple parts, and yours had 5 or 6 people, and it was so cool.
My basis of that song was a dream come true. I wanted it to be a big collab. I had this idea in my head, everyone needs to play a certain role in this song. This is Five Nights at Freddy's 6. There are all these different characters. I need everyone to have a role in this song. And I want to reach out to all these different people to achieve that. I remember when I had started to know about DA games through when Bendy was a big thing, and Can I Get an Amen had grown, and people had thought that I had stolen from DA games,
right?
This whole situation.
Because wasn't his Bendy Chapter 2 song originally "Can I Get an Amen," and then he changed it to Gospel was made?
It was like a code name. It was like a code name that he had for a trailer of a song that was going to come out in the
Oh
future.
no.
And people had thought that I had like taken the song. These like 5-year-olds started commenting, "You stole from the games," and I
The
used to call him
Games.
the Games. That's like I thought that was his name. I thought that was his name.
No
And
way,
then
that wasn't a joke.
No, that wasn't a
I
joke.
mean, if you see
You
it all
stole
like
from the
lowercase, I can see where you got that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really, I should have known. I should have known.
The
But
Games.
that's how I got to know DA Games. Was a friendship blossomed from there, and then he
So
was able
funny.
to, he was able to be a part of that of Labyrinth, which was a really big deal for me. To be able to collaborate with all these cool people at the time. They still are cool. But during that time, I was like, oh my gosh, these people are so cool and popular. They could be on my song, and it's gonna make it so much better. So that song was a dream come true at that time, for sure.
Something you said I really agree with. Labyrinth, looking back, it really feels like the FNAF 6 song because it's like the penultimate song because like it, like you said, it has lots of different parts, which is like FNAF 6. It really reminds me of hold on, I need to find it. It was this one Bendy song that had like one section had like parts from a bunch of different Bendy songs, and it felt like the Bendy song.
Oh, it's from Victor McKnight.
Yes. It's something. I really like that.
Called.
I
What is
have
it
no
called?
idea.
Yeah,
It was a
I'm a
good
little-
one. I was in that. I cameoed on that one, but
Face
it was,
reality. Face reality.
yes, there you go. Yep, I remember that one. That was fun.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you were almost like the the Henry of FNAF 6, like bringing all the pieces together. Except
Yes.
you made the song was fire, but you did not burn down a building in the process. So that's
I did
totally
not
good.
terminate
Well,
the
we don't
connection.
know.
See,
I did not.
I,
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons that FNAF 6 song probably really blew up is that FNAF 6 was one of the first games that the Living Tombstone didn't make a big song on. So you kind of filled the space that they left empty.
That's kind of true.
True.
Yes. Wait. Sorry. Repeat that again.
The Living Tombstone was the one
Yeah, I
who was
know.
making all the big songs. They didn't make a big FNAF 6 one at the time.
Right. No, they didn't, and they probably won't. Knowing them, like they really want to focus in on the original stuff, and I saw this huge opening. Like, oh my gosh, FNAF 6 is out. I got to do something ASAP. I got to do my research. I got to play this game. That's
you got
basically.
it out fast.
I try to. I try to get things out in a timely manner. It's very important that that a song can come out as soon as possible for something because it's about building a community, and the way my community works is I have to give them exactly what they want most of the time, or they're not going to watch my videos. Of course, the community has been a little bit more respectful nowadays with like when I'm releasing original stuff, and people have flocked over to that a bit. That's been cool, but also I still know I have to do the big things that I know are going to get the viewership because I always hop on the trends. And but then there's things where like I don't really enjoy, and I'm probably not going to ever write a song about. Like I'm not going to make a song about Genshin Impact or something like that. I have no interest in that whatsoever. I have no interest in Arcane or Valorant, stuff like that. That it's like it's just not interesting to me. And when
That's
things
fair,
have
yeah.
like also when things have interesting stories, like Bendy and the Ink Machine was not the greatest video game, to be honest.
Oh, I totally
Honestly
agree.
bad.
Fair
Uh,
point.
Yeah.
I honestly prefer all the songs to the actual game.
The story was great for the game.
For the
Um,
most part.
Yeah.
for the most part, it was easy to write about it. Let's just say that it was
Yeah.
good enough to write about,
Mhm.
and because of how interesting it was to me, I was able and how it could have. I when I write my songs, I try to apply it to other people that are outside the realm of video games. when people like pull up a song. Like I'm not really one to like say the names of characters in my songs or something like Freddy is gonna get you or like Cuphead is shooting cat incarnation or something like that. I'm really big on just keeping it open. I want to keep it open so everyone can listen to this.
I really like that because there's like some really good songs that I like to listen to, but like I can, for example, Tryhard Ninja's FNAF 4 song says the name Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in the song, and when I listen to it, I'm like, I like the song, but like just like it kind of like takes a bit away from you, like when like you like put it. I don't know, like you get what I mean. It's but I'm finding
I know
it hard
exactly
to
what you
articulate.
It takes away the immersiveness of the song. Like it could apply to everyone at some point or something like that. Oh, like I'm scared of this evil thing that I'm running away from, and that nobody cares what that evil thing is. It's just kind of, it could be a little bit introspective. Like you could think like, oh, I'm running away from my own demons too. My demons are like Freddy, and then somebody says Freddy's gonna get you, and it's like, oh wait, never mind. Now I feel like I'm listening to a song from YouTube for Kids or something like that.
Yeah. If it doesn't specifically call out something from the franchise, then you can a lot more easily reflect on it and apply it to a lot of different things, more than just what it was kind of made for.
Yeah.
Not to mention, just like without being specific, you can open up to a lot more symbolic lyricism. Where like you can find the most interesting way to say something or to allude to something without going like, oh, it's Afton, no, it's Freddy.
But you also want to try for references,
right?
Yeah, I feel like that's like a sweet spot that's like a references, but not like explaining the game in a song, I guess. Because I listen to music a lot, and I like to like it's like, yeah, it breaks the immersion. But if there's references, I can be like, oh, I like this song for like this, but I can also see how this is a FNAF song, for example.
Yeah.
Yes, like well done, superstar. That whole like sentence comes it's directly from Glam Rock Freddy. But like somebody listening to the song that has no idea what Five Nights at Freddy's is, they can still enjoy the song for what it is. But the reference coming out also gives somebody like listening that does know about Five Nights at Freddy's kind of a not really, like kind of like a nostalgic feeling. Like, oh, that's something that I like. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. Obviously, that's what the song is about, but it's very clear. But they said, "Well done, superstar." That's cool. I like that.
That's what I felt.
I get the reference.
I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, like you said, it felt kind of nostalgic when I first listened to it. It was nostalgia. Really, it's a weird sensation. Yeah.
I need to re-listen to it. It'll probably grow on me. I remember the first time I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It just wasn't my taste the first time I heard it, but I will probably have to go back and re-listen to it a couple times. Yeah.
I followed the basis of like The Weeknd, and that was basically the basis of the whole song structure. Well, no, The Weeknd and like the bossa nova music that you hear in the mall in the video game itself. Like the saxophone and the just like really in the distance music that kind of gives it that horrific kind of feel, or like the mall is closed and so you hear music in the distance and there's nobody in the mall, and so that music is just echoing throughout the entire mall. That was the basis I was following for this song. The Weeknd / George Michael / echoey mall is closed. I don't know.
It's an interesting combo.
Genre. Just put that in the genre. Just echoey mall is closed.
Jeez.
You heard it here first, folks. A brand new music genre.
I do love how like poppy it feels, like pop music kind of, which is not a genre you usually get with FNAF songs. Usually it's all very dark and gloomy and some big dubstep here and there.
I think that you either get happy or you get dark.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
You either get super, super happy.
There are some that are like good that kind of mix it. One of my favorites, Join Us for a Bite, is like it's kind of poppy, but it's also a touch of dark.
I love Join Us for a Bite.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, Join Us for a Bite is so cool. The way it's written, it's like one of my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's songs ever.
Agreed.
Made like so good. One of JT Music's best works, honestly.
Definitely.
I think also that Five Nights at Freddy's has given us musicians the opportunity to make this interesting music that we know is going to reach a certain
Yeah.
community, but we can also speak to other people through that music.
Yeah.
That's very well said. Now, I guess maybe we could get into sort of like the writing process. Like, where do you start when you get?
I
Oh
start with
no.
research. This is how I started with Superstar, because that's the most recent, one of the most recent ones. I started by playing the game for a little bit on stream. I played it I opened it maybe twice altogether, and I never finished the game. I decided to just watch Corey Kenshin play through the entire game.
Did you enjoy it?
Icky
Though?
smiles for
I
that.
absolutely enjoyed it. Yes, the game is not great at all, but the story is awesome, and it's very interesting to be able to write about. And so I did my research. I watched Corey Kenshin play. He's so freaking funny, and I'm his
I
biggest
agree.
fan. And I wanna kiss him on the cheek. And
He's also a big fan of him.
I am. I have his U2s on my desk right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, I've never gotten U2s ever. But like I have, you can't see it, but I have like a bunch of his Bruce Kenshin merch. I have one of his hats. It's on my desk right now.
I have the up down shirt. I like
Yo,
wearing
let's
that.
go. So yeah, I watched that series through, and I took notes. Wrote things down of what I noticed. I remember I have this new process where I work on Twitch so that Twitch chat can help me, or they can give me cool lyric ideas that I couldn't have probably thought of myself, because I feel like I'm not super literate with poetic writing all the time. I can lay things out pretty well, but I don't know like different words that could be interesting together until I see them. And I'm like, okay, that does sound good. But let me just hear that in my head and see what that sounds like. Let me sing that real quick, see what that sounds like. And then I'm like, okay, that does sound good. I'm going to put that in the lyrics. Maybe not, but who knows? So I just have a bunch of notes, like pages, maybe. I don't know, not really pages. It's like a Word document, obviously. But I just type, get all this research down, all these lyric ideas down, and then I put it on to the lyrics. But I match up melody with them. Like I said at the beginning, it's such a confusing process all the time. But I'm explaining the process specifically of Superstar right now. So I was given different lyrics, and I had this beat in front of me already that I had made. I had made for this, yes, because I'm so out of order right now. The first time I opened this game, I played for 2 hours, and after I played for 2 hours, I closed the game and I opened the project. I opened Ableton, which is my DAW, as soon as possible, and I just started. I analyzed what I was listening to. Like, okay, what was I hearing there? I was hearing music in the distance. It sounded like saxophones. It sounded like bossa nova beats. There was the 80s music at the very beginning that was totally like synthwave and pop and all that stuff. I was putting that all in my head. And then I just started searching saxophone and like saxophone samples. I started cutting things up, putting beats together, made an 80s beat, and then I had this thing that I could start with, and I think, and I for once, this was one of those unique times where it was like, okay, this is definitely the one I want to go for, but I don't think I want to change this at all. It came so quickly. Like I knew. I had this new idea in like 30 minutes, this new beat idea, and with saxophones and bass lines and everything. I was like, I'm going to use this. So I did. And then I started structuring it, looked at the verse, put melodies to different lyrics, all those different music things. There's things that aren't very easy to explain. And I would say that the process of making music isn't really obvious until you watch me work, or maybe if you pulled up a Twitch stream or something from me where I'm working on the song, you can see exactly how I do things. It's a very intricate process. I know that for sure, though. I don't want to make something bad. The advice I give to people that are making music and or are wanting to start off is make bad songs until they sound good.
So
That's always my advice.
So
I have definitely done that.
yes, Inky writes music as well.
Yeah.
He recently worked on a giant soundtrack. That's awesome
for you, for
Yes.
Psychic. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna ask, but then background noise cut me off. I've always struggled personally myself. I've never written a song with lyrics before. The one time I tried, I couldn't get very far. So I think just by the process you mentioned, it sounded like you had the lyrics first and then wrote the melody around that.
That was the process for. No, see, that's the
It's
thing.
different every time. It's different every time, I assume.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah.
Sometimes it's
Literally
like
all
that,
the
sometimes it's
time.
not like that.
You don't have a
Sometimes,
definitive answer.
yeah, sometimes I had melodies, melody ideas. It can be helpful. I think a very helpful process would be to start with melodies. Start with melodies. Start with like singing something random, like da 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 da, or something like that. Just do something random.
God,
Just
that sounded so
sing.
good.
Thank you. Or just make a random beat. Just do something. Because you're gonna sit around and think like, "Oh, I can't do anything right," and you're not gonna be doing anything right. You're correct in that because you're currently not doing anything. So you have to just do it. You have to just. It's just like anything. Anything
Yeah.
that you work on with time to get better. I
Yeah.
got better over time at talking to the camera, though I still think I struggle in certain aspects of it because I'm not really. I don't think I'm the best at talking all the time per se. I think that is just something that doesn't come across very easily for me. But I do know that I am probably doing okay right now.
You're
but,
doing great.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I just know that I'm super passionate for music because of how much time I spent with it. Because it was my livelihood, my life and my livelihood. It's just everything to me. So for me to be able to give advice to somebody trying to make a song is, I would just say, just watch me work, see what you get out of that. See if your process is similar to mine. My process is always different, but that process could be could be the same for you. Who knows?
Yeah,
Or it could be the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Either
guess
way,
it's
either
all
way, it's a
about,
start.
like, trying- It's all about, like-
Sorry. I do like to start with like not being in front of the computer and just being at my piano in the other room. And then writing
Yes.
lyrics, like writing an acoustic song, and then taking that song into the studio. That's one of my processes.
Interesting.
It's like I'm remixing a song. I'm remixing my brain. That's what I'm doing. I'm remixing a song that's in my brain and putting it onto the software. I'm
That's
remixing a
really
song that I made.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's a very unique way of looking at it.
Because I'm not looking at the technology all the time when I'm at my piano. I'm just
right. Yeah.
I'm just focused in on that.
And I guess a lot of it is trying different things, trying out a lot of new ideas and putting different things together, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, experimenting.
That's all I ever do sometimes. I feel like I should experiment more sometimes because I can still get really lazy. I'm an imperfect person, as so is 100% of the world. But I can get really lazy. It's really easy, especially if like something like if it's something like my album or something that I'm working on very slowly because because the bigger projects take first priority. Like, okay, I'm working on this cool song, but oh no, Five Nights at Freddy's has come into the play, and there's this new security breach game. I better get right on a song ASAP. My process is so much different my way of thinking is much different from other musicians, because other musicians have the pleasure of just writing about like their anxiety or something like that, or some situation about themselves, with no game basis, and they could get lots of plays and lots of listens, but I don't always have that luxury. I may be able to do that every now and then, like with my song Freak Out, with I Fall Apart Sometimes, with Love Isn't Fair, with that whole album behind Love Isn't Fair, Patiently. I've been able to release different original things, but I let the video game things become first priority, consciously, knowing that it's going to do well.
Would you
Right.
say
Almost
that?
like
would
is
you
there like
say-
a pressure to keep up?
Yes.
Would you say like you box yourself in to like a song when it's popular?
You mean like I box myself into that project?
Yeah. Like if
I'm
like when
working
like
on it actively?
like when like the Among Us song became popular, where you're like, oh, I have to write a second one, and that's like the only thing, or like how does that work? Like with
Well,
trends?
with the first Among Us song, that was a huge thing. That was like the biggest thing I ever experienced in my channel ever. I remember I got 25 million views in the first month on that song.
Jeez.
That was my biggest break ever in the first in just the first month. And I was like, yeah, I have to get on a second Among Us song, because if that did as well as it did, it's going to do well again. So I get really motivated when I know something is going to do well.
Cool.
But I also make sure that it's good. I really need to make sure that it's good before I just put something out. So I am still focused in on that, even when I don't try to put out crap. I remember I missed the window on making a Squid Game song, basically. Even though I did, I wanted to try and release it sooner. So I was really expediting my work process because I was a little late on it. Squid Game had become popular like 2 weeks prior, before I had actually started making the song. And I had made this whole song. And I was like, no, this isn't it. I don't like this. This isn't the song that I want to come out under my name for Squid Game. I made this song, and I basically scrapped it, made another one, focused even more on that music, and actually added that song that I had made to the end of the other project, the project that I kept. So I combined two songs together to make this really cool piece called Inspector Royale. But I released it late, and it still did okay, but it definitely could have done better.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, I'd say it's a good thing, like putting quality over timeliness, I guess. I can definitely understand that.
Yes, unless I am able to do both in a timely manner.
Yeah.
And you are very good
course.
at doing both. Like, I can't count the amount of times where something's come out and like very soon after you've got a song out already, and it's really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I planned ahead for the Cuphead thing. I was like, yeah, there's going to be a new Cuphead show. I know what Cuphead's all about. Let's just write this song. I had already started that one like 3 weeks ago or something.
Wow.
Maybe like 2 weeks. Yeah, that was different. A little different.
Interesting.
Do you get other people to listen to like your ideas so that it like, because I feel like when you're producing music, it kind of in a way gets, I don't know how to explain it.
Do you ask for like second opinions before a song releases? Like, do you share it with like people close to you to get their thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you watch the process behind I See a Dreamer, because I put that process up on YouTube, it really honestly shows my best process. I love that video so much. It's like 24 minutes long. It's basically a short documentary, and it's really cool. But in that video, I go to my dad to help me with certain lyrics that I thought didn't make any sense. I wanted to change them or make them better because my dad is much better with vocabulary than I am. And so I went to him to help me with this. And I've definitely gone to other people for critique. It can be really hard to do that if you have an ego on you, and I do have an ego, but not like that bad, you know. I mean, I think everybody needs a little bit of an ego, so that they can really pick themselves up and work hard.
Yeah, get some self-confidence up there.
Yes, exactly. There's a difference between humility and self-confidence.
Indeed.
Definitely.
So,
and that's why you have to go to other people that get help.
So kind of on like a similar topic, how do you deal with like harsh criticism of your work? Like, does that like, do you like want to be defensive, or do you like take it in consideration? Like, what do you do with that?
You know, funny enough, most of the time I haven't received super harsh criticism from people after releasing a song. I've only really received people just aimlessly hating, not really, or just telling me that the song is, oh my gosh, you should see the TikTok side of my community. It's ridiculous. There's this whole new community that's just like on the negative side of the Dream SMP that has just come to rally on my profile and tell me how much they hate Why the Chicken Crossed the Road, and tell me
that's a good song though. It's a good song though.
Thank you. But they like come in and they just tell me this song is mid. You use way too much auto tune, and it's like, how is that a good argument? Like, what? Everyone uses auto tune. What is wrong with you? Like, literally, all these people they hate because they want attention. They want me to basically react like I'm reacting right now.
Sorry.
they are succeeding, but at the same time, like, they have no life. Like, I'm telling you, you have no life. L plus ratio plus any askers plus you got no drip. So,
he's really going all out on
Absolutely destroyed.
I mean, it's TikTok, right?
literally, TikTok community is just ridiculous. Oh my gosh. No hate to the people that actually, you know, appreciate the work for what it is. Like, I do like Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road? That was a fully like made joke song though. Like, it was such an easy basis, like, why did the chicken, like, that was made for Tommy and Its Talent Show, which was a cool big break for me. I really loved being in that video.
I loved that video.
I haven't seen it.
Well.
I still need to
I'll have to go watch it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And Tommy and it really liked the part that I played in that video, and I really appreciate it. And the community that came from that is there's some very cool people there, and they appreciate the music for what it is. And I still at least tried to make Why the Chicken Crosses the Road good, and the best that I could make it for a balance between a joke song and maybe a little bit serious. You know, I always try to do that, especially with the NFT, man.
Yeah,
that was like,
I actually just like watched that this morning. It was very funny. Just how it starts off just like, oh, I bought an NFT, and by the end of the song, it's just, I'm in debt, I don't have a credit card, my wife left me.
That was a fun one to make. I actually made that closely with my friend Axie, who helped me write that song. He's one of my closest friends and comrades ever.
Oh, I just remembered.
Nice.
Another song I really like is Monday Morning. That's a really good song. I really like that one.
Thank you. I love Monday Morning because I actually made that with the basis of just wanting to make a song with my friends. Like, I didn't really expect too much attention to that song. I wanted to just be like, this would be really fun to rent a mansion with my friends and make a song with them. I just do want to do it. I just wanted to do it. Like, they're all my really close internet friends, friends I made specifically through the internet that we like to meet in person, or like rent an Airbnb together, or go to someone's house together and just hang out in that state for a while. And it's always really fun. It's a traditional thing that we like to do every now and then. And so we did that for Monday Morning. They all came for my birthday, my 22nd birthday. And during that time, we went to go film the music video for Monday Morning and record the song and write the song. I wrote the song closely with Chi actually specifically, and then everybody came over and we recorded it and then made the video, and it was really fun. I enjoyed that process just for what it was. I really love the reception on that song because the fact that it got 2 million views in almost a year, that's enough for me on that a piece like that.
It came out a year ago?
Jeez.
Almost a year ago. No, wait. 10 months almost 10 months.
Jeez, it hasn't felt that long. I would have said like 4 months ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm about to turn 23.
Well, it's a good song, and I really like it.
Yeah. On the topic of like videos that you do a lot of collaboration with, I think some of the best content that people can really make is the videos that you do a lot of collaborating with friends. And I think one of my favorite videos that I'm not sure if you uploaded it, but you were in, is where you are baking cookies with EA Games and CK9C.
Yes.
I love that video. It's so funny.
Yeah, DA Games uploaded that one. That was really fun to film. We actually recorded that when I hung out with CK9C in 2017, and then the video came out like a year and a half later or something like that. But it was that was so fun. I was like I was enjoying that so much just because that was like one of my first experiences with hanging out with YouTubers and what that was like. People that had a little more success than I did, and just like hanging out with them. Hanging out with them was so cool. It was so fun to film that video too. And we actually recorded another one a month ago at this point now, and it's not out yet. But we did. We made burgers this time. We made really crappy burgers. It's gonna be such a good video. It's gonna be on my second channel.
Do you think it's as good as the old cookie baking one?
The first one is probably going to be the best one because of the nostalgia factor, maybe. Because that one was really fun to edit. But I had somebody else edit this one, Charkster. They're really good. But this video is still going to be pretty funny because the burgers were they were disgusting.
Oh my!
Can't wait
to see it.
So, where do we want to go from here? So, that being said, do you have any like big future projects that you're excited for? If you can talk about them.
Yes, I don't know when this is going to be up, but I have I'm in the talks with a artist that was really big a bunch of years back, but was a big inspiration to me when I was growing in my music. His name is David Archuleta. I'm going to be collaborating with him. He was from American Idol season 7. He was second place alongside David Cook that year. So that's going to be fun.
That's
cool.
But
then something that I think is more relevant to the audience is that I'm going to be collaborating with Abdul Cease. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's the guy that did the sped up beatboxing. I'm going to be collaborating with him.
Oh no!
Yes.
No way!
I need ideas from you. What would you want to hear if what do you think the title of the song would be if you were to hear a song from CG5 and the sped up beatboxer guy?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a tough question.
He's turning the questions back on us now.
Beating boxes.
Yes.
That's such a tough question.
Did you say beating boxes? That was the worst.
It's a song about taking your anger out on boxes. Boom.
Beating boxes. How would that be a metaphor? Like
I don't know.
Because it would have to be not specific to boxes.
Yeah, remember, gotta keep it open ended.
Hey, FNaF 4 box. The FNaF 4 has a box.
Yeah, that's the point.
Not the FNaF 4 box.
I was already thinking of calling the song "The Bite of '87."
Please.
That would be pretty funny.
My god.
That's such a better idea.
That is
I'm just like,
great.
how can I take advantage of this collab? You know, how is this going to work out for the both of us? I need to title this like something about FNaF because Five Nights at Freddy's, for crying out loud, it's still huge. Bite of 85. Did you say Bite of 85?
Yes, I did.
Who said Bite of 85?
Get out. Fake fan.
How about I mean, this is probably a bad idea. The beatbox of '87 sounds close
Oh,
enough
please.
to like.
That's an even worse idea than beating boxes.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
fair enough.
DJ
fair enough.
Beatbox Man.
I'm the person with
DJ
the bad
Beatbox
ideas,
Man.
not you. I have the bad ideas, so
Okay.
watch yourself. Watch yourself.
It's okay. It's okay to have bad ideas.
Yeah.
Speaking of collaborations, what's like a potential future dream collaboration? Not dream,
dream,
but like,
maybe
Not
dream.
dream.
Maybe dream. I don't know.
Someone you would love to work with.
yeah.
Probably. I actually would like to work with Conan Gray.
Oh yeah.
I like Benjamin, Charlie Puth.
Ooh, Charlie Puth.
Oh man, I have like a list of people. To be honest, that's a very good question. Yeah, AJR for sure.
Oh yes, yeah.
I really want to reach out to AJR actually. Before any other collab, like that would be super cool.
I think D. Houston was talking about AGR.
Yeah, he
About
loves AJR.
being
This is what I
inspired.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a song
all
of
those
them.
people.
I'll just check them out.
Their music is very sample heavy. It's like something that's really unique about their music is that they sample like weird sounds and or like telephonic vocals or something like that or old music. It's really cool what they do.
I understood like half of those words, but okay.
Don't speak music.
It's okay. That's the thing.
I
That's
play
another thing,
guitar. I play
actually,
guitar.
Is that
so-
you don't have. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
like you can be good at something. You don't have to speak music to listen to music. That's a thing
Right,
that
yeah.
I
Right.
live by. Is that when people are listening to music, they're not all music theorists or no, not music theorists. People that are like into music theory or people that are schooled in the art of music or have learned so much. They're just listening to music because they like how it sounds. Not everybody has to know about music to listen to it. And so that's the people that I'm trying to please or impress is just people. I'm just trying to please people. I'm a people pleaser. I like attention.
That's how you like get a good audience if you can make it open and accessible for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and every man's music.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
We've hit another
Yeah.
stopping point.
What was
I think we're sort of towards the end of the questions here.
Just about out, I'd say. Yeah.
It's been great having you on the podcast. Thank you for taking time out of
Yeah.
out of your day, out of your schedule to just
Yeah.
answer a few questions. It's a really cool opportunity for us, especially like I've listened to your music for years.
Same.
Same.
Uh,
Yeah, all of us have listened to you for quite a long time, and now that we get the opportunity to kind of chat with you is really
It's
crazy
really awesome.
in a way.
Thank you. It's actually pretty. It's always pretty weird to like to hear that there's real people behind these numbers. Like obviously that's true, but like to be able to hear from people like, oh man, I love your music. It's like it's always a little bit weird to me, but at the same time, I very much appreciate it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
It was so cool to interview D. Houston the other day that we found it even crazier that we had managed to, get in contact with you.
Yeah, DeHusta is literally one of my best friends in the world. He
Yeah, do we wanna talk
lives
about
not
that?
that far from me.
Yeah, he was singing your praises during his interview.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah,
Not
we
actually
met
singing.
in high school. We met in high school, and then
He said you were the weird kid.
I was definitely the weird kid. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how weird I was.
I have
It was
no idea.
ridiculous. I tried to stand out. I tried to like wear colored pants.
Good
and-
for you. Good for you.
Oh my gosh, I stood out in a different way. It's like, oh gosh, that kid's kind of weird. I liked attention just as much as I do now, but at the same time, I'm a little bit more humbled because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But we just, me and Dallin, we reconvened after he came back from his religious mission in Argentina, and we just hung out and vibed instantly. That's when we became real friends. That's when I never kept actual school friends. I never kept people in school around. Like I maybe kept to be well acquainted with them, but like I'm careful who I call my friends, to be honest. The people that I want to hang out with, the people that I want to talk to, those are my friends. Like Dalvando, Nanarama, DeHusta, Axie, Kathy Chan, DJ Smell, all those people, they're very important to me. Oreo, Chi-Chi, you know, all people. I like people that are cool.
That's the criteria for a
That's
friend
great.
of CG5.
Are we cool?
Yeah, yeah, you have to be cool internet people, apparently.
Sorry guys, I don't fit. I must be going.
You don't fit in.
Yeah, you don't. You need to go.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Bye guys.
We're
It's been
not
fun.
we're not cool enough yet.
We're getting there, maybe, hopefully, I don't know.
You'll never
Maybe
get
not
there.
specifically. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
You'll never be
Depressing.
cool.
We've
Encouraging
failed the vibe
encouraging
check.
words from encouraging
Oh my
words from
aspiration.
CG5.
You passed the vibe. You passed the vibe check, but you didn't pass the CG5 friend check. Okay.
Sad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
This
Makes
is the
sense.
first time we're ever talking. So
You've got 3.5 million people wanting to be your friend. This is not surprising that we don't
Yeah.
pass either.
Someday it'll be 4 million friends.
Yeah.
True.
They're all my friends.
such a big number, yeah.
I hang out with all of them every day. and
Holy
we like to play video games. I like to play Fortnite. No, I don't.
That's
So,
trendy.
When's-
Yeah.
Fortnite Battle Pass.
When Fortnite song.
Yeah, do
I
we
just
just
love when you burst out into song.
The funniest
you
thing.
gotta-
Like,
great voice
it's
for
so
singing.
amazing.
Thank you. Actually, you know what? I use mixing tools that are named Ozone. I hope you know that.
Wow. Ozone,
I
you're
love it.
famous.
I'm- It's
What?
named after me. It's named
Yeah,
after me.
they named
Totally.
a layer of the atmosphere after him, so that's cool.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So what was the company that talked to you about making these plugins? Tell me more about that.
No.
Company
Good answer,
secret.
good answer.
Company
It's
Classified
secret.
NDA. NDA.
Yeah, that,
Confidential.
confidentiality, of course.
True.
Yeah.
why don't we make a Fortnite song in this call right now?
No.
You know what? I actually made a Fortnite song, but I never released it to the public
Ooh, interesting.
Interesting.
because I don't like Fortnite. But it was a pretty good song.
So that went back to the whole idea that you prioritize your interest in the media over just getting a song out there because it's popular, right?
Yep. The song is pretty good, to be honest. But I was just like, this is about Fortnite. I don't like
I think
Fortnite.
for me, the funny
Just one day. One day, just randomly upload it out of nowhere.
April Fool's Day, please drop that song.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
I'd say the funniest Fortnite song for me, when the whole Chug Jug meme was going around, Nate Wants to Battle posted a video where he did a hard rock cover, but the video was just him like just deadpan, just like barely lip syncing. It was the funniest like contrast. It was so funny.
Take me to your Xbox.
Yeah, I did a cover of that.
Oh yeah, you did
actually.
too. You did too.
Yeah, I remember
Oh yeah, I
that.
think I saw that.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
So how do we want to segue into the outro? Do we spring the penultimate question on CG5, or not really a question, but actually it is a question.
Wait, I don't even know the penultimate question.
Oh,
Where's this
it's
going?
the It's the thing we always do when we have a guest on the Dark Rooms podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So, as per tradition, you have to give the ending speech. Go.
That went the psychic. That wasn't a question.
I'd like to thank my mom for making me.
That's the best one thus far.
Thank you.
Because it wasn't just like all the others.
Yeah, that's
You
the best
were
one
on
we've had.
top of that. You were on top of that. Everyone
Everybody
else
else
was
gets-
like, wait a minute. Yeah, they get like a deer in the headlights. You were on top. You
Be
knew what you were going to say.
prepared.
Yeah, you were prepared.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know we were going to do that? Do you have inside info?
No, my inside info is your mom.
Oh, Inky!
Whoa.
Oh,
We
you
were talking
got.
about your mom.
Oh,
I'm
Inky.
stunned.
All of your moms.
Okay.
The Moms Podcast.
The Moms Podcast.
I think we need to segue quickly into the end of before we go even further off the rails.
Going
so,
off the rails.
Thank you all for watching this episode of the Dark Rooms Podcast.
Yes.
And thank you to CG5 for
I appreciate it.
for joining us here.
Yeah,
we appreciate it more.
Yeah, we really do.
Uh,
Links are, as always, in the description. Thank you for joining this episode, and if there's nothing else, I'm gonna hit the stop record button. So,
that's
Stop
not a
recording!